In the last few seconds there, we're sort of draining away your thoughts and how you feel, especially as your guys are fighting.
I told the guys in the huddle in the last time out just how proud I am of them and how hard they worked and how they all had great attitudes, and like each guy to a man was great as far as the results of the season. Definitely disappointing, but the growth that we've seen, and I guess the feeling that I felt as the season drained away with the last few seconds is a feeling of pride and just proud of these guys, because it's hard. It's a hard season, and growing pains are really hard, and just making sure that they understand a few things: how hard it is to win in the NBA, and how they should be proud of themselves, but how we also have work to do going forward. And when we're in a position where, this is what I told the team, but when we're in a position where we're knocking on the door of the playoffs and winning a playoff series and ultimately winning it all, remember this feeling, because it's pretty raw right now, as far as being so proud of them, feeling for them that they went through such a tough season, but also just like the people, how they stayed together throughout the whole thing. So that's kind of what I was thinking at the time, and that's what I expressed to the group after the game was over.
There have been so many things said about Jalen Green over the season, is how much he's improved. To have a career high on a guy like this, what does it say to you going forward about his potential growth?
It says a lot about him as a person, him as a worker, him as a player, him and his potential. And he cares a lot. He really just cares a lot, and he wants to be great, which is a lot of people want to be great, but I think he can be great. You know, and he does it, and sometimes it looks easy. But I just think about all of the questions that I had to answer early in the season about his struggles. And then tonight, you know, we lost the game, and that's disappointing, but he goes for 41. Like, yeah. I spent a lot of time answering questions based on the belief that I had in him, and I never, ever wavered when it came to how much I believe in that kid, and most of our guys, but him in particular, because you asked a question about him. Yeah, to go from answering questions like that, first handful of games of the season, all the way up till borderline all-star break. Is he, can he, what's wrong, all that stuff. And then for him to put on a performance like tonight is really very much about him and the work that he puts in with John Lucas, and the person that he is, a lot more than the player.
What do you just thought about his decision making, and sort of like just how decisive he seems and comfortable he seems in his own skin and his own game? Have you seen sort of that progression? You kind of expecting that to be the standard when you guys come back next year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a natural progression. I've seen it time and time again. Like when I first came into the league, my rookie was Baron Davis, and he didn't even start. And then his second year, he was really good. And then, you know, LeBron, the difference between his first year and his second year, and Steph, the difference between him and his first year and second year, and Kemba and Luka, same thing. How the game slows down for those guys who are really good and special, and but it really is about who they are as people, and the belief that they have in themselves, and the structure, for the most part, the structure that's put in place for them to succeed. So I think we've done a pretty good job of putting a good structure together for all of our guys to improve, and the group success will come.
In your experience, do you think the biggest growth for a player is between that first and second year in the league, or is there?
There's multiple jumps. There's multiple jumps. There's because it is hard. It's harder in the second year just because teams are going to be preparing for him next year, right? Like, they didn't prepare as much for him towards the end of the season. They were doing some things, but teams are going to try to make it harder on him, so he's going to have to make the adjustments. But like year 4, 5, 6, after he's seen all those adjustments and he's seen all those coverages and seen everything, that's the big jump. So he'll make a jump next year for sure. But if we continue kind of down the path that I think he can be on, he'll be really good.
Not the results that you wanted these last 3 games, Coach, but you're also playing against 3 teams who are getting ready to play in the playoffs here pretty soon. What are some of the positives that you can take from those games going into the offseason and being able to show the team what you can improve on and where they can be next season?
Yeah, it's been a hard stretch this last stretch, but we knew it was going to be hard because those guys were out. Those older guys were out. But the spirit that the group showed, the fight that they showed in all these games, tonight was hard because Trae Young in pick and roll, it's like, what are you going to do? He's going to either shoot it or make a play for somebody else. And that was a hard part, but these are the learning steps that we have to go through, and playing good teams down the stretch of the season, especially for our young guys. They see how hard it is to take that step to be a playoff team. And yeah, Atlanta's good. They're a good team.
How valuable was the playing time for those young guys towards the end, just for the playing and experience?
Yeah, it was very valuable. It was valuable for them because it was valuable for them because they got an opportunity. But it was also valuable for me so I can evaluate, and I have film to watch on them, and we can try different things with each guy. So yeah, super valuable for them and for me.